Hey everyone, so how to model this really cool little product design here, and I just want to show you something so amazing. So if we check out here the reference image, right, and I've prepared already something, so don't worry, you will be able to follow step by step in a second. We will do that from scratch, but just amazing what you will learn today again. So I've prepared something here, and if we just select all of those holes and just patch it, bam, and give it here G1, and I don't know, isn't that just like magic? It's such a perfect surface transition, connecting like all of those different surfaces and faces on the side. So the same here at the front, we just select those edges, bam, patch it with one click, give it here smoothness where we need it, delete this face, and voila, like the perfect shape, and it's so much fun. So let's create a new file and model that together. And if you're new to Plasticity, below this video you find the link. You can download that for free, 30 days. You can just check it out, follow along with me right now, and then see if you like it or not. So let's do that. And it's not an absolute beginner tutorial, so if it's literally your very first time in Plasticity, I also have link in the description a link to my free beginner course. It's specifically for beginners, where I teach you like all of the basic commands, basic operations, how to model some basic stuff, and then as a grand final kind of, you will learn how to model an Apple Watch from scratch, so you can export it also and render that. And yeah, so link in the description, you find everything as always, and also this reference image link and everyone else. Let's jump right in by deleting the cube, and let's go to the front view. And first we just want to create again, so it's like always, or most of the time in product design, we have like sharp edges and corners and smooth forms, right? But in Plasticity we always want to start with the basic shapes. So yeah, those circular shapes and these shapes here on the side. So let's create them first, and then just fix and patch everything as always together, which is always very fun. So front view, and let's create a center circle, snap it to the middle, and drag that out and snap to one of the axes, something like that. So I will just eyeball it here. And now we want a corner rectangle, but click and drag here the 3-point rectangle. So you can snap here 3/4 and this quarter, and let's just drag that out. And yeah, I don't know, like something like that should be okay. And now press T for the trim command here, the scissors, press T, and let's cut those two curves in the middle away. And now let's just press 2 and select all of those edges, press J to join them, and patch it. So we create the first surface, so just patch it and right click, and I will just hide the curve here. So I have, before we hide the curve, we need the curve to create this rounding. And as always, or most oftentimes, we will just create 1/2, because then we can just symmetry it over. So what we want to do is, we want to select this edge in the front view and just press O and give it here a little bit of an offset. So something like that should be fine. Again, I'm just eyeballing that for the tutorial, but just a little bit of an offset, right click. And now this inner curve, let's hide it and go to object mode and select this surface in the middle. And now just with G, by pressing G, the move command, let's bring it out a little bit. So something like that, give it a nice little distance. Again, you can play it around and adjust this later and everything, and perfect. And so this curve in the middle will be just our reference for the surface continuity that we will create. So we don't need this surfaces here at the top. So again, let's just press here T, trim, and just trim here the fillets away. So we just have this nice curve. Make sure it's in the middle of our coordinate system here. And now select this curve, press E for extrude, And now let's just extrude this a little bit. So you can extrude it so much or that much, it doesn't matter. We just have to extrude this a little bit. And now, super important, select the curve and hide it with H, because we need those edges here, okay? So we've created successfully here our first surface and our reference surface. And now what I want to do is I want to cut this reference surface somewhere here, right? Because you see this shape is longer than before we go here into the curvature. So I can just go to the left view and create a line with Shift A, or press here Shift A and just create a line. And again, this distance should be about right. So just cut a little bit away, press C and cut into the surface, right click and just delete everything, right? So you have this situation. Because here now we will create here this circular shape, and on the other side also somewhere here. So how can we do that? We can again go to the left view, and we want to create this shape here, right? But you see it's rounded, and it's just a very nice shape. So it's not just a circle or not just a rectangle with fillets. So what we can do is, again, we can just create a rectangle first as a reference. So we can just place it here on our surfaces and just get an eye of how big it should be, right? So you go here and select the corner rectangle, and you just snap at this point and wait, escape rectangle, and snap a little bit above, because here's our reference image, but you see we have a little bit of a curve. So we have to keep that in mind, that here we need some distance for the curve, then for the smooth transition. So somewhere I will snap it here, and very important, the most outer point here will be obviously the same distance as the flat surface. So while you drag your rectangle, snap to your surface, press Shift to activate supporting lines, and now here at the top, again, it's just eyeballing, snap somewhere here. Okay, so we have this situation, and you can do now, press G and just bring that here, and just see if the proportions are okay. I think yes. And now again, this was just here our reference rectangle, because now we need a control point curve. So go to the spline curve, here control point curve, and now very simple, just snap here at this point, snap it, so drag out on the x-axis, so it's tangent when we will mirror it over then in a minute. So just snap to this point. Again, you can snap here in the middle, snap again to this point, and again here. So it's again very eyeballing, right? But just to show you the technique and workflow. And now we don't need the reference rectangle anymore, so you can delete it. And now we have this curve. And what we see here, we have an angle, and here it's straight. So the easiest thing is if you just select this curve here in the front view and press E for extrude, and you just extrude this till again, so here will be this edge, right? So just give it here again a little bit of a distance, so we can give here then a nice curve, so something like that. But now obviously this is straight, so what I want to do is I select this curve and hide it and create a line, and just snap here at the corner and just create here a little bit of an angle, so something like that. And now curve selected, C, cut into your surface, and press X to just delete it, right? So we have something like that, and it looks everything a little bit weird, so stay with me, it will make everything sense. But as always in surface modeling, is also what I teach always, like in my paid courses, is that you can break every form. If it's a car, if it's a helmet, if it's power tools, if it's anything, you can break it down into main forms, surfaces and shapes, and then create here some holes and then you can fill them back in with surfaces. So what we are doing here. So this looks actually pretty okay. And let's first create here the surroundings. So it starts a little bit get in shape. So we want to bridge those edges here, but this edge is too long, this is shorter. So we just press 3 face mode, select this face and search for the isoparam command. So isoparam, I have it here on Control R, so select the face, Control R, and just snap it here on the same distance. And now very simple, we can just select with shift click all of those edges here, and so only those which we want to loft, so those ones, and press L. And here we don't want any continuity, so it's G0, so we have this sharp edge here. But here in the middle we have G1 obviously, so everything is we have continuity here. Again, check out my courses for like what does everything means, but basically if you mirror it over, everything is smooth. And we just want to increase a little bit the tension to make it rounder. So while you're on the loft command, you can press D here bottom right and just drag that a little bit, and you see you can just play a little bit around with the tension. And we just want to make it something like that. And now in object mode you can select this surface here, which was also as a reference. And now if you would select those surfaces and press Alt X and mirror that over, right click and hide those edges, voila, you have absolute beautiful smoothness. And Control Z, so I just want to work with 1/2. And now comes the very magic fun part. So what we want to do is, first of all, we have here too much surface, right? So we basically don't need this whole bottom thing here because we have to fill in the holes. And we also want to connect this face with this face, right? Because right now this face is not really connected to this face. So we have to break it. So let's first close this holes here. You will see in a second why. So Shift A and just go from corner to corner, select that, and just Shift 3 that. So patch command, so search for patch and delete the curve. And now here again, Shift A to create a line from corner to corner, Shift click, so you select all of that stuff here. Again, just patch it, delete the curve. And now we can start to remove everything. And before we do that, we have to break up the surface. So for that, press 3 face mode, select this face, and again, isoparam command. So I have it on Control R and just snap here to that line. Okay, so this is our first step. And the second step is we want to create also here 2 lines. So select this again, Control R, press Tab to change the direction and just snap here where we have it already. And the same here, select the face, Control R, press Tab and snap it here. And now we just want to delete this face, select the face, Shift X, and now we have the distance here, and now we can start to loft it. But we still have here, now because we have this edge here, which belongs to this surface, obviously, right? And this surface, we can just press 2 and select this edge and press L, loft, and you see it's just G1. So that means here, as you see, everything is perfectly smooth and connected. So right click, and now what you can do is 3 face mode and just select this whole bottom face and just completely get rid of out of that. And now comes the very, very magic part that I showed you in the beginning. Because now, if you zoom out a little bit, you see everything is nice and smooth and connected and everything as it should be. Okay, the proportions are maybe not the perfect, but that's okay. And now we just have to close that hole. So for that, we have here one hole between edges. So we have to first, again, close it. So again, with bridge edge. And again, so if you can follow along, but it's too fast for you and it's just doesn't make sense, everything, it's, you know, it's just a tutorial and I can't explain everything in absolute every detail, because then it's always like 1 or 2 hours YouTube tutorials, right? I can't do that. But I have here, if you go on my website, or first link in the comments, pinned or description. So I have a course page, right? And I have amazing courses, and all courses that I have, they are absolutely step by step. And I explain everything in much more detail. And in every course, like the helmet, also here the power tools course, where you will learn how to create, this kind of what we are creating now, but obviously much more complex. So those are real examples from the course. This is the exact thing that you will model, like 3 professional power tools in one course. And many, many more courses. And obviously I have always an introduction, like a technical video, some exercises. So you really first practice those basics that right now in this tutorial that you're watching, I'm just flying over. And then we go into the main project and I explain everything to the detail, why we do this, when, and I just teach you how to do that on your own, how to think in the main core techniques and workflow, so you can apply that to basically anything else that you want. All right, so check out, link in the description or in the comments. So we want select back again our 2 edges here. And again, bridge edge or bridge command, Shift B, that's for me. And here we just want G0. Why? Because again, here you see it's a hard edge, but here it's G1 or G2 as you want. So I will just give it here G2 because we just want a nice continuity here. Right click, but before you patch it, you have to first extrude. So select this edge or curve, and then press E and extrude this a little bit. And now, very important, you have to remove the edge here, the curve, the blue curve, so it's black. Because now you see this hole has, everywhere boundaries. So select, press 2, and let's select all the edges. And now, magic part, it's always the most fun part, so really enjoy that. Press F and patch it, and bam, it does not work. Why it does not work? Not a problem, because you have to go to object mode and you first have to select all of those surfaces and join them. Okay, so press 2 again and select everything with shift click, press patch, and bam, voila. But here you see it's not smooth, so you have to give here G1, and here G1, but G0 here because it's sharp edge, and G0 here because it's sharp edge. Okay. Press 3, select this face, delete it with Shift X, and I don't know, guys. I did that already in my life, I don't know, like 20,000 times, but it still feels like magic. Like it just magically fills perfectly the surface in. Yeah, so it's really nice to model like this kind of complex surfaces, and especially even more complex projects. Yeah, so let's quickly do the same here at the other side. So it's exact same, so I will just do it a little bit faster. Select those edges, bridge command, G0, give it here G2, maybe reduce the tension a little bit. Select it, press E, extrude this, delete the curve, and press 2, select everything, and now you can either X-snap that, so you get even better result, or just patch it. And by the way, if you want to buy Plasticity, right, the studio or indie version, you can just type in Nikita in the discount field on the checkout page from Plasticity. You will always save 10% if it's like your first time buying Plasticity. But so let's patch it. G1, G1, and G1. And right click, select the face, delete it. And perfect, because let's see now, if we select this object here, so this half, and Alt X and bring to the other side, voila guys, it's just beautiful and amazing. So now for you, just finish like the button here, give it here some extrusion, right, give it here a fillet and all that kind of stuff. And again, if you like plasticity and the magic in it, and you want to really master it in much more step-by-step way, then I can recommend you the best courses on plasticity in the link in the description. And here also some results from my students and reviews and all that kind of stuff, so you know how that works. So check out first link in the description, leave a like and subscribe for this video if you enjoyed it, and enjoy your day. See you in the next one. Bye.